going to go ahead and continue our availabilities for today. We're now joined by 3 of our NASCAR Camping World Truck Series drivers participating in the Active Pest Control 200 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway tomorrow. Please welcome Jordan Anderson, driver of the number 3 Bommarito Lucas Oil Chevrolet, Johnny Sauter, driver of the number 21 Allegiant Airlines Chevrolet, and Ben Rhodes, driver of the number 41 Alpha Energy Solutions Ford. Johnny, we'll start with you. Congrats on your win in Daytona. You're looking for back-to-back wins here for the start of the 2018 season. How you planning to do so?
We were just talking about that a second ago. This is a tough place. Obviously, the racetrack's going to go through quite the transition period. We ran really well here last year with our Allegiant Chevy, and I feel like with some of the setup stuff and, obviously through the course of the off-season, the stuff that you work on, aero, and just trying to make everything better, I feel good about it. So we'll obviously find out here in about an hour to see what we unload with for speed. But this is a place here where, you can go real fast real early, or you can try to be a little bit faster for the long haul. So I'm hoping to have a little bit of both, but this is fun nonetheless, and we'll be able to move around this place, which I think everybody as competitors enjoys. So just got to race hard and see what the day brings us.
Awesome. And Ben, you had a pretty big birthday earlier this week. You turned 21. What did you do to celebrate?
Well, I wouldn't really call it big. Still going to Chuck E. Cheese. No, we didn't do anything. I went to my local Italian spot in Louisville, Kentucky, and went out with my grandparents, my family. Like I was telling somebody else this week, as you guys know, whenever you're on the road, whenever you can be home and enjoy time with the family, that's what we do. So between mom, dad, and the grandparents there wasn't really any drinks. So maybe we'll save that to after this race if we can have a good finish.
Good deal. And you won last year in Vegas at a 1.5-mile track. Are you approaching this race similar to the way you guys approach Vegas?
In a way, actually, this truck that we brought here this weekend is Jasmine. It's the truck that we had at Homestead Miami Speedway. So that was a really good race for us, really strong performance. We're basically taking everything we learned from last season, a setup that we've been working on for a while on the 1.5-mile trucks and tracks, and looking to see if that'll work here at Atlanta. I think it's going to run really well. I know it's a fast truck, but it is a new Ford body, and hopefully this F-150 is fast. But we're putting all of our resources into it.
Awesome. And Jordan, it's been an exciting few weeks for you. You're running your own team. You had a solid finish in Daytona. Can you tell us a little bit about what the last few weeks have been like for you?
Crazy. It's Daytona was a huge blessing for us, a new team. We decided to start this up about a month and a half ago, and for us being a small team, we started out with 1 truck. We got another one. We're up to 4 trucks now. So Daytona was big for us because it kind of dictates how the rest of your season was going to go. So to be able to get off 2018 on a good foot was good for us. Top 10 finish, my first one ever. We've kind of been an underdog in the truck series now. The series has really become home for me, so we love being here. But for my guys, that was the biggest thing because we've had just the night before we came down here to Atlanta, we didn't go to bed. We worked throughout the entire night to get this truck ready. So, we love what we do. We love to be here every week. We're grateful to be here in the truck series. And hopefully, with us building this new team, we're going to continue to build up new trucks and run better. And hopefully, last week's a sign of what's else to come for us.
Great. Thank you. We'll go ahead and open it up to questions. Just raise your hand, and we'll get a mic over to you. Jerry?
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net and PRN. Jordan, we've traveled the roads together because we both drive to a lot of races. Can you talk about your journey to get to where you're at right now with this new team? And I mean, like I said, we pulled over in different truck stops, getting gas through the past few years. And how fulfilling is it to be here?
No, it's certainly fulfilling, and it's like I said earlier, it's a huge blessing for us, and it's a journey. That's what we always talk about. Everybody that follows me on Twitter and Snapchat, it's a journey that we're on. I mean, we're going to run here at Atlanta this week. We've only got 1 intermediate truck, so we've got to do what we did at Daytona last week, play our cards right and run and find that line between being aggressive and kind of pulling back and taking care of our truck. But we're going to race here in Atlanta tomorrow night. We're going to go home. We're going to work Sunday, work Monday, and we're going to leave up Tuesday morning and drive all the way. Me and my 3 guys, there's 4 of us on the team, and drive all the way to Las Vegas next week. So we didn't buy a single plane ticket last year for any of our races. So that's the biggest thing is it's a big journey that we're on. We have a lot of crazy things happen on the road. We love what we do. And I've got a good core group of guys that they're racers. They love this sport. So last week was big for me, but it was big for all the people that help our team and get us to this place, because this is something that we're trying to build this team up. We're running the Elmore Motors this year, so we're working hard to step up our on-track performance, but at the same time kind of stay true to where we were the past couple years. Also,
real quick, you had disaster early last year with a truck. Having one truck, are you worried about that again this year?
Racing is that kind of sport. You take your chances and hope for a good outcome. But it's crazy. We crashed here at Atlanta last year, got spun out off of turn 4 here, and the truck dug into the grass, and it tore the front clip off that truck. And that was almost the end of our season last year. But looking back, it was amazing how that opened up the door to getting our Fueled by Fans program going. We had a crowd-funded truck for half of the season last year, and if it wasn't for the crash here, it wouldn't have opened up all the doors to have the fan support. So that's what I said. That was one of the first things I said when we got out of the truck at Daytona was we're here because of the fans that supported this program and got us back to the racetrack. So it was cool to kind of give everybody that helped us last year a thank you as part of all their help to get us back on the racetrack.
Lee?
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. Jordan, can you tell me how you got the Bommarito Automotive Group? Because you're from South Carolina, not St. Louis. I was kind of wondering about that.
There is a Columbia, Missouri out there. It's just a different Columbia from Columbia, South Carolina. But it's actually cool looking back. It was 2016. We had raced out there. And every time we go to Iowa and St. Louis, we stay out at Kenny Wallace's shop and work on our truck in between races. And we were out there. We had raced at Iowa first and had come out to Kenny's place in Arnold, Missouri, and was working on the truck. And we had no sponsors for St. Louis. So I actually called Declan O'Neill and Chris Blair over at Gateway Motorsports Park. I said, hey, I'm here for the week. If you guys could use me to help sell some tickets, put me to work. And they actually had me come over to the racetrack on Tuesday and Wednesday that week. And I made some phone calls to some fans and sold some tickets and took some pictures around the racetrack. And the VP of the Bommarito Automotive Group was actually there that week, and I asked him for some sponsorship, and they came on as a very low sponsor kind of thing. They bought us 2 sets of tires that week. It was a huge help for us. It kept us going, and we just kind of kicked the relationship off there. So it's been neat to see how that's grown and evolved, because last year, 2017, the dually that we pull our hauler with pretty much everywhere. That's our home when we're on the road. The motor in it blew up, and I had reached out to John Bommarito and his group about some help, maybe a dually to use for the year or something, and his whole team stepped up and gave us a brand new 2016 GMC 3500 to pull our trailer with, and it's just been neat to see how the relationship's grown from there, and he stepped up this year to help our program grow. So every single partner that we have on our team has a neat story like that, and it all started at Gateway asking the people at the track for some introductions and help on sponsorship. So you never know, and that's what's so cool. Everybody that supports our program, there's a story on how we all got to meet and why it works.
Matt?
Matt Weaver, AutoWeek.com. One for Johnny and one for Jordan. For Johnny, when it comes time to eventually repave this place, which is probably pretty soon, would you provide the track any sort of input in terms of what aggregate to use or how to go about paving? Is there any thoughts about that?
I mean, I wouldn't have a clue. I mean, obviously, the drivers like this place because it's abrasive and it's wore out now. So I would, I don't know anything about asphalt. So, I'm sure that they would use something that's maybe similar to this, that maybe would wear tires out. I think that's what everybody likes about this. And we see it a lot at other racetracks get repaved. They just kind of take time to age, and maybe there's a process they can do to expedite that. I have no idea. But, yeah, that's a good question. I'm just not, I don't study aggregate and things like that. You know what I mean? I just don't have a clue.
And for Jordan, with a blue-collar team and doing things the way that you're doing things, how do you expect this new engine program to help you be able to make races, to be able to fund the program better than the system you guys had before with OEM engines?
Yeah, for sure. It's a big jump for us, because had we tried to do what we're doing now last year, we would have struggled a little bit more, I believe. The Elmore certainly does level the playing field, and NASCAR's done a great job with providing us the opportunity to do it. And it's great because the truck we ran in Daytona was a Toyota. We're in a Chevrolet this week, so had we not been able to run that motor in the different trucks, we couldn't afford to have done what we did last week. But I think you're going to see an increased step up in performance from the guys that ran 15th to 25th last year. I think you're going to hopefully see them jump up and compete more, because this does allow us to get something closer to what the bigger teams do, and hopefully race with guys like Johnny and Ben more. But the Elmore is a big help for us as a small team. I blew 6 motors last year just simply because we bought older SP2 motors and would basically run them until they were wore out, because that's what our budget would allow for. but the Elmore allows us we bought 2 new motors at the beginning of this year. They got a great program. They've got tuners here at the racetrack that help us with our stuff. So it allows us to check that box of things, differences between us and other teams. We can kind of scratch it off as the motor program. It'll level that playing field out. So it allows us to focus on, making our trucks better and things like that.
Are there any other questions? All the way in the back, yeah.
Doug Turnbull from PRN and WSB Radio. This is for Ben, since we've been leaving you out, since they handed it to us. I wanted to ask, it may seem like a really mundane question, but your truck numbers have gone I think it was either the 98 or the 13, and then 27 and 41 and then back, or vice versa. How does the team decide when to switch numbers in the year? Because on the outside, it doesn't look to us like it's an owner's points thing. Like, how do y'all decide that?
Well, the big thing is 2016 going to ThorSport Racing. I was the number 41. We went to that number because I'd had past history with that, and Duke Thorson allowed me to change to that. From 2015, I was the 88. 2014, I was the 41. So he allowed me to go back to the 41. Well, I changed in 2017 because Safelite Auto Glass came on board as the sponsor, and their phone number was 800-800-2727. So it just kind of made sense for the sponsor. But since I'm no longer with Safelite Auto Glass, now I went back to the 41. So we're 41's just kind of been the common number. It's just been my history and my foundation. So we just kind of went back to it, and it makes sense. I've got wins with that, just not in the truck series. So we'll see if we can improve that this year. Thank you.
All right, anyone else? All right, thanks guys, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.